You see, if you do a lot of YouTubing, you're going to quickly realize that there are so many advice on this, YouTube street. People giving you a lot of advice on different things. It could be on finance, it could be on, relationship, it could be on even business, education, everything. You're pretty much going to find it here on YouTube. You see, there's pretty much no regulation. Somebody can just come up here, regurgitate what he or she has heard from somebody else, and the person is going to just make a video about it, not because the person likes you, but because this thing called YouTube is actually a business. The business is that you can make videos, and if you are monetized, you can actually make money from those videos. This is the game that is being played right now in 2025. People are going to come here, they're going to talk the game, talk anything. It doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. They're going to tell you, to quit your job. This is just an example. There are so many examples that you're going to find, and different niches has something that's also peculiar, with them. All right. But in the make money online niche, you're going to hear people talking about you quitting your job, going all in on your business. And sometimes some people are so good enough to even propose you the kind of business you're going to do. But in fact, 95% of creators don't just tell you. They're just going to tell you that you can actually make money online. You're going to regurgitate, the same kind of make money online schemes that they also heard perhaps from TikTok, from other YouTube creators. And they're just going to regurgitate that with the hope that they're going to get views. And that's a game. If you do not know that you are being played, I'm so sorry for you, all right? But then sometimes you're going to come across some creators that will still be very kind enough to openly tell you their experience, tell you exactly what they have tried. And these creators, they do not do this, for the money. Sometimes some of them do it for the money, but sometimes you do see creators that just come here, they do not make trendy videos, especially, the videos that will give them views. They just want to tell you exactly what they have found out. Because these people do not treat their YouTube channels as a business, typically they do not tend to make a lot of videos. And because they do not make a lot of videos, the YouTube algorithm in itself also do not push them out, push these content creators. They do not push their videos well enough. And so because of that, it might happen that those videos that they make, those sincere videos, they never get to see the light of day. And sometimes I even ask myself, YouTube might actually unconsciously be contributing to this whole thing going on, where people just come online, say a lot of stuff, even things that are not correct, and hope that people watch these videos and they get views. It is just what is going on right now. All right. So those content creators that will make these sincere videos, sometimes they do not get views, and because they do not get the views that they tend to get, at some point they kind of give up and they stop making content altogether, giving these creators that come here to tell you things that are not in line with reality to just have a feed day. One trend I find to be very, very notorious for this is people telling you to quit your job and go full all in on your business or whatever you are doing. I resell on eBay, and I can pretty much talk a little bit about what happens in the reselling space. You see, the problem with this advice is that reselling doesn't matter where you do it. You are actually playing a platform game. If you sell on eBay, yes, eBay is the platform. If you sell on Facebook Marketplace in this case is the platform. On Amazon, whatnot, these are platforms. YouTube is also a platform. So these platforms, they are controlled by so many things. They are controlled by algorithm. Somebody on the other end can just take a look at your accounts and decide to just, suppress it somehow. And because of that, you cannot really say for sure how each month is going to be. Yes, there are some things that you can put in place to ensure that you get constant sales. But at the end of the day, there is just nobody that can tell you for certainty that this is how, your sales are going to go in a particular month, because there are a lot of things that actually goes into you making a sale or not. Right now, it's holiday time. It's summer holiday. I was in Croatia just last week. There were 1,000 people on the beach. It was full. At the point, I was even asking myself, man, if this is just Croatia, now think about other countries of the world where there are very nice beaches, and because of that, people want to visit these places. They want to take a holiday. They want to, spend less time, walking These people enjoying themselves at the beach, they're not going to be making any purchases. This is the reason why you tend to see resellers complain, during summer, because summer people are just partying, they are holidaying. Nobody's actually sitting down looking for some used t-shirt to buy. Yes, it's going to happen on some rare occasions, but your sales cannot be, that compared to when people are actively at home. People are like in work mode. They realize that they do not have clothes for work. They want to buy something new. They just get paid. They want to quickly, sales definitely dwindle in this time. You take a look at YouTube now, you might already be seeing people talking about, reduced sales. And myself, I have also experienced it. But because, like I always say, I have been selling here long enough to expect that, yes, it's just what it is. When it's real summer months, people have a way of just traveling. And because of that, sales can just get messed up. And this brings me exactly to the problem. When somebody tells you, you have to go all in on your business, you have to, quit whatever distractions you are having in terms of a job, go all in and make sure you make it work. Yes, you're going to be doing your own part. You're going to be grinding hard. You're going to be going around sourcing for stuff. You're going to be making sure that you go on the platform, you list good items. But at the end of the day, you do not have the ultimate control about, over what sells or what don't sell. And if you are really grinding hard, you are getting items, you are listing them on a platform, and sales are going through, you might be tempted to believe that you are like you have a magic wand that you are using to make that happen, But then there's going to come a time where, we are in August, summer slowdown is affecting a lot of sales, and things are not selling. If you are not careful, if you've not done your homework properly, you are going to be experiencing what I call a very, very trying time, where you have items listed, things are not selling, not because the items are not good enough, but because at this time of the year, people are not really buying stuff. And if you are the person that depends, solely on reselling as a source of income, it might be a little bit tricky. I know of people that are solely resellers. They've not got a wife that works. They've not got, siblings that can support them when things are really down. Most of them, they see it firsthand what happens when sales are not going through, and when you are really stressed, not knowing where your next sale is going to come from, or not knowing when you're going to be able to pay your car notes. That can really be a source of stress. And when people tell you to go all out, go all in on your business, I hate a 9-to-5 job, I will never work for somebody, I feel like I would die if I work for somebody, go all in on your business, I want to start doing some business. Guys, this is the most wicked advice that somebody can actually give you. The best advice would be, you have to actually be seen diversifying your income sources. If you have to work a 9-to-5 job on the side while also putting all your effort in reselling, so be it. Yes, the truth is that it's going to be difficult, and this is exactly how the game is played this day. If you want to survive as a reseller, or somebody that actually tries to make money on a particular platform, you have to be seen diversifying your income source. And the one really good way that people kind of diversify their income source is that they hold on to a full-time job or a part-time job and do every other platform game on the side, because this is the only way. When the platform is acting up, or not necessarily platform acting up, when things are not just working because of the situation in society, people are losing their jobs, people are not able to go online and just buy the way they used to buy like 2-3 years ago. When that is happening, you still have something to fall back to. And some people, they actually have a setup that is like this. They have a wife that works, or they actually live in a paid apartment. They do not have to pay rent because maybe they bought this apartment many years ago, or they got it from their parents or their uncles and something like that. Because of that, if somebody out there now comes and starts to tell you, go all in on your selling dreams, burn the bridges, burn the cables of you ever having to do another kind of job, when the trying time comes, the person is going to be a little bit more relaxed because he or she already has a paid house. But you, in this case, you do not have somebody to support you, nobody to actually help you when you do not have money to pay your bills. So, like I said, the best advice would have been diversify your income source. If you are into reselling, yeah, do it with all your heart, do it with all your passion, but do not close your eyes to other sources of income, because there's going to come a time where things will not just sell. You know, sometimes it might not even be a fault of the platform. It could also just be, you know, the fact that you could not lay your hands on good inventories, and because of that, you're not able to list items that will naturally sell. And then people also give this kind of advice, even in the spheres, you know, of being a YouTuber. I see this all the time. People try to tell you, yes, you have to, you know, go all in on your YouTube dreams. Of course, it's a good advice to go all in, but a major part of that advice has been cut off is that, look, but do not rely on one income source, say, you know, just making YouTube videos or even reselling. Do not rely on one income source, because there's going to come a time where the platform can just begin to, you know, act up. You know, I'm making a lot of videos on this channel, really quality videos. In my own thinking, I really do feel that these videos are very well made. They are very good quality videos. I share a lot of tips around reselling, and I even show you and tell you what to expect if you decide to pick up reselling as your job, your business, whatever you want to call it. All right, I give these tips, and I understand that there are a lot of resellers right here on this platform, but for one reason or the other, this YouTube algorithm is having a difficult time, you know, placing my videos side by side people that are interested in reselling. I have made countless videos on this channel, but then they just tend to get like 2-3 views, sometimes 10 views. When things were kind of good for some short time, kind of gets a few hundred views. But in the last times, views have been really down. And when I go on to Reddit, I see people making the same complaint. And then it's kind of difficult for me to reconcile. Okay, you have the gurus telling you to go all in on doing YouTube without actually telling you how you should play the game to make sure that you do not, you know, fall off. You know, they keep pushing this narrative. You have to go all in on your YouTube journey. Yes, if your job is disturbing you from making YouTube videos, you can even quit your job altogether, because in this month, you were fortunate to make $2,000 or 2,000 euros on YouTube. And because of that, you think the platform is going to remain like that forever. Guys, it doesn't work like that. YouTube, like I said in the beginning of this video, is also a platform. And every other thing that happens to every platform, be it an e-commerce platform, be it a video platform like TikTok or Instagram, they also happen to YouTube. YouTube is not exempt from this platform things that happens. Sometimes you might be getting a lot of views, but at some point that nobody can actually tell you when, expect a station where your videos, for one reason or the other, don't just get views. And if you've burnt all the bridges with your normal job, you know, because you felt like for 2-3 months you were balling on YouTube, what happens then in the time when things don't work? So the best thing that you can do, or the best way to play the game 2025, is for you to still hold on to your job. Doesn't matter if it's a shitty job, there are ways that you can actually go about changing the job, you know. But for you to just, you know, quit your job altogether because in 1 month you made, let's say, 10,000 euros or $10,000 reselling, or if in 1 month you made $15,000 or $5,000 on YouTube, making YouTube videos, and you now say, I think I have found a secret, my business is working, I want to quit it, you might be sorry, because when the days come where the platforms begin to act up, you might be in a situation where you might become very restless. If you do not have enough experience in the game, you might think that something else is going on. But the truth is, nobody in 2025 puts all of his or her eggs in one basket. And the same advice goes, if you have a full-time job, do not also just go chill up because you think you have a stable job. There could be a time where the company might be downsizing, especially now that we are living in the days of AI, where a company can just wake up tomorrow and feel like some of the roles, especially the junior roles, an AI system can actually take over those jobs. What happens then when your company comes and tells you, we are so sorry, we cannot guarantee you an employment here? This is exactly the same reason why, even though you have a job, you still have to be seen trying to figure out ways to make money. This is not I do not like thing. It's not something that you should. I do not like to do business. I do not like to hustle. This is how the game needs to be well played. Of course, if you have a job that can really be considered secure, of course, I know there are some jobs like that, all right? But if your job are these kind of jobs where an employer can just come and toss you out without blinking an eye, you'll be doing yourself a lot of disservice if you are only relying on that job as your income source. You have to be seen trying to figure out other ways to to make money. It could be door dashing. It could be, you know, starting a small reselling business. But at the end of the day, the game must be played like this. And lest I forget, it could also be you starting a YouTube channel, because you have your full-time job on the side or your part-time job on the side. You have a reselling, you know, business on the side. You have a YouTube channel. This is how the game is being played. Of course, no guru is going to tell you this, because if they tell you this, then the course they are trying to sell you is not going to make sense. Because the course needs to be that somebody's going to sell you a dream that will be so big that you will take action, which is to buy the course. But the truth is, if you play the game the way it's being proposed to you, which is to go all in on just your business, there's going to come that time where the platform is going to act up. And if you do not have, you know, something kept on the side, like real solid cash on the side, or some really good shock absorbing system, you might crash out. And this is not a good thing. I do not want you to be in that situation. I have personally been there. I have tested it. It's not a good situation to be in. And I feel like this video, me making it, would actually get to help somebody to rethink the strategy that you are currently using right now to go all in on your business. Until I see you again in the next one, peace.